Hey everyone, this is Jennifer Beamer, owner-operator of Expertly Dyed Art by Science, and today we are going to learn how to put a Kromski Minstrel spinning wheel together. So, first, take out of your box all of the pieces, look at everything, and there should be some kind of diagram that goes with your wheel so that when you put it together in the correct order, and so that all the pieces go in the right position. Piece number one. As you're putting this together, check each piece, and actually you should check them right when you take them out of the box before you go through the effort of putting it together, just to make sure that everything is made correctly. So I'm going to start off by putting the feet on, and you're going to need a few tools. I forgot to mention, you need the oil, you also need a couple of screwdrivers, and some scissors. So if your wheel came with a drive band, great. If not, you're going to need to get a drive band, and that's what the scissors are for. So here are the wheels. I'm sorry. Here are the legs for your wheel. Now, mine have numbers. Like this one says 3, and it has a line. That means when I assemble this, I need to look for the one that says 3. And that's this one here. Okay, so this is just the testing phase to make sure that it'll stand on its own, and it does. If you have a hardwood floor, this will be a good time to check to make sure that it's well balanced. Then what we need to do is we need to get our treadles set up. If I get this set up like this, this is where this footman goes, and this is where this footman goes. You see how they're offset a little bit? That's important. And the way you know which footman goes in the back is the one with the larger hole. You can see one hole is clearly bigger than the other. So the one with the bigger hole will go in the back, and then we're going to take both ends and put it down the bigger hole, the hole on the top. Lay it down, turn the treadle over, and then I thread the bends individually through each of the holes. So this is what the back side looks like. All right? And then I just do a square knot, left over right, right over left, and then we're attached. And I'm going to do that with the other side. Tie it in a square knot, right over left, left over right. All right, so then our footmen are ready. So what I'm going to do, the pointy end here goes into the leg. So let's get them all set up here. Now the next piece you're going to need is this one right here. This is a little holder that this metal bar goes through. And what it's going to do is it's going to connect the two petals together. Like so. Okay? Now, I haven't quite found a really good way to finagle this, but basically what you want to do, there are two little holes, one here, that this pin will fit into, but you may be able to see this one here, it's sticking out, okay? And the hole is in here. So what we're going to have to do, this one, this leg, it turns. So if you turn it a little bit, you can get both of them in without having the wheel on its back. Because if the wheel is on its back, I find that I have more problems getting this part connected to the feet. So I'm actually going to switch which side this is. Okay. There you go. All you have to do is twist it just a little. I twisted it like this, and it gave me enough room to get the pin into the hole. Okay, and there we go. Everything's lined up. Make sure that when you push this through, the footmen, they kind of straddle the back leg. So you want them to be on either side, not two on one side or the other. Okay, that'll be very important soon. So the next piece I'm going to put on is the drive wheel. Now, this little brass piece is going to go on the wheel. So we have this pin up here in the front, like that. And this piece, if you can see, it has little indentations on that side, and on this side there's a little hole. I put this on, I had a brain fart. I put it on so that the indentations are facing the wheel. They're closer to the wheel than to the outside. Okay. Now why those are there, that will become salient here in a second. And then on the other side, this one is just already there. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brass piece off first, and then the small piece goes to the front of the wheel, the crank goes to the back of the wheel. And what I do is I just kind of gently angle the wheel into place. Put the brass piece on. The hole goes towards the wheel. The indentations go away from the wheel. The next thing you're going to need are these two little wooden pins. Okay? So it's kind of difficult to see. So here are the indentations. And there's a teeny little hole here that one of these pins can fit into. You want to line it up so that the indentation is in front of that hole. And then you'll push the pin into it, like that. You see how this is the pin here? It's going to lock this in place so that the wheel can move freely, but this piece won't fall off. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing on the back. Like that. We're almost there. Next thing, we're going to deal with the footmen. So I'm going to push this down a little. I'm going to take the little Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to undo the screw that holds it together. And you'll notice it splits apart, like that. The one with the smaller hole is going to go towards the wheel. Gonna open it gently, just enough for you to get it onto the crank. I get this screw snug, because there's still going to be a gap here so that the footman doesn't grab too hold on the crank, but it won't slip and slide all over the place. Okay? Now the one with the bigger hole is going to go on this back one here. There's like a little extra piece of metal here which will allow the footman to go over this end here, but not move too much. There we go, it's working. Now, this piece is what holds the bobbin flyer in place, and it attaches to the maiden. This may or may not be already attached to your wheel already. Mine was when I first got it, but since then, whenever I pack it up to do something with it, like move it, I take this piece off. It just makes it a little easier to store. There's sort of like a nice face of the leather, which is this one here. And then there's the rough face of the leather, where the screws are. The nice face of the leather is going to point towards you. If you have a yarn gauge, this is the step where you could put it on the wheel first. Okay, that goes there. There's a washer. Put that on first. And then we're just going to screw this into place. Make sure you do this looking at it so that it goes straight back into this cavity here. So you want this lined all the way up to this back piece here, okay? Then, the next two things you're going to need are these. This is what the bobbin, the flyer is going to thread into. And this is a giant wooden screw, basically. This is what's going to raise and lower this piece and thus adjust the tension for your wheel. So this is going to go in here, like this. Obviously there's inside some threading, so you want to line it up so that when the screw goes in, it's going to go through that threading. Next thing is our flyer and whirl. Now, when I start over with a fresh drive band, I always put the small whirl on first, and that's so that I can get the right tightness. Okay, that part was easy. Okay. And I raised and lowered this enough so that when this part moves, it doesn't touch the maiden. This part, this flat part, you don't want the flyer to touch it at all. Then you're going to need your string. Now, mine originally came with a linen drive band, and I used it until it fell apart, literally. So what you're going to do is, if yours is brand new, you probably don't have to measure it. If yours isn't, then try and keep your old drive band so you can get at least a gauge for how long it needs to be. And since this is a double drive setup, I'm going to have to go around twice. So making sure that it stays around the wheel twice, okay, is tie it in a knot, a square overhand knot. So right over left, left over right. And then I tighten it a little bit just to make sure that it'll work. Give it a test. Okay, that works. And we're pretty much good, except now we have to oil the wheel. Okay, before you start, when your wheel is brand new, you should always oil this leather piece really well before you start using your wheel, because you want it to be a little bit pliable and not hard and stiff. And the only way you'll make sure that it stays moist is if you oil the leather itself. Then up here where the orifice is, you're going to put a little oil there. Okay. If you're going to get started with spinning right away, I put some oil on this piece here so that there's no friction when I'm ready to spin. All right. Now remember those two little holes on the drive wheel? There's one down here, and on the back side there's another one. So you're going to oil, oh sorry, it's over here. So you're going to oil this part of the wheel. Can you even see that? This is in the way. So I'm oiling this metal piece that holds the wheel in. I'm oiling that on the front side and on the back side. There's a little hole there. And then you want to oil both of the footmen. So I oil the footmen here. And then one last place that I like to oil. And it seems kind of weird, but remember these leather straps? You're going to want to oil those too. And the reason why you're going to oil these is for the same reason that you're going to oil the piece that holds the orifice of the flyer, is because leather works best when it's soft and pliable. When it gets hard and brittle, it'll just fall apart and you have to replace it. So this makes sure that when you are spinning, that this stays flexible here. Okay? So oil these maybe once a month or once every other month. If you use your wheel a lot, you may want to do that a little bit more frequently. If it's been a while, you may want to oil them when you're not using it too. I have an extra bobbin, and there's a little screw up here on the front that I can put my spare one there. I have here my threading hook. This is what you use to pull the yarn through from the bobbin. There's a little hole down here on the Kromski where that just sits. And then I also have my Lazy Kate. This is just a little wing nut. And there's a hole here up in the front where I can put that there. Then you have your extra bobbins. You can store them here. You can use these for plying or whatever. And then there you go. You're all set. You've got your whole wheel assembled. If you're still with me, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Did you like watching this video? Click Monty if you would like to subscribe, or click Socket if you want to see more videos. Thanks for watching.